name is Rachel Pithkin, and this is my second lesson for Math 1350. Today we are going to be going over the multiplication applications for second grade. The previous knowledge that students need to have is students will need to have previous knowledge of repeated addition and subtraction skills. The lesson objective in TEKS is 2.6a, number and operations. The student applies mathematical processes, standards to concrete repetition, addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and division situations that involve equal groupings and shares. The student is expected to model, create, and describe contextual multiplication, subtraction, in which value equivalent sets of concrete objects are joined. So, welcome to my second grade classroom. Good morning, class.
Good morning.
So today we are going to learn this cool new thing called multiplication. But before we learn about multiplication, we're going to review addition just really quick. I'm going to write a problem on the board, and I want y'all as a class to answer it. So I know it's really early in the morning, so we're going to start off simple to get our brains going. So. Do y'all know the answer to 2 plus 2 plus 2?
6.
6, that's right. Okay. So now let's try another one. How about 5 plus 5?
10.
10. Okay. Awesome. Now we're going to try one that's a little bit longer, but don't worry, it's not too scary. Do y'all know the answer to 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3?
Yeah. That's a lot of numbers to count on my fingers.
Right, but we can count them up, right? So what is 3 plus 3?
6.
And what is 6 plus 3?
9.
9. Okay, now what do we get when we add 9 plus 3 together?
12.
That's right. So that was a really long process to get to a pretty easy answer, right?
Yes.
So today we're going to learn how to multiply, which makes answers like 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 a lot easier to find. So multiplication is just like repeated addition, except faster. So instead of writing out 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, we would just multiply 3 times 4. And it's the same as having 4 groups of 3 and adding them all together. So instead of writing all these numbers, we'll write out a multiplication problem, but it's kind of written a little bit differently. So if you need help remembering how to write this out, we're going to have kind of a fill-in-the-blank thing. The first blank is the number that you already know. The second blank is always how many starting numbers you have. So it's your known number times your quantity to get your answer. So, and the quantity is really just a fancy word meaning the amount of something. So, what number do we know just from looking at the problem? I'll write it out. Okay. So what number do we know just from looking at the problem? Real quick, real fast. 3. Right. So, where would we write this in our blank?
The very first one.
The first one, that's right. So, we know that we're multiplying 3s. But how many 3s do we have? We'll count them up as a class. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So, we will write, and we'll fill in our last blank with our quantity, which is 4. So our known number and quantity of these numbers they're called factors. Factors are just two numbers that we multiply together to get an answer. So what are the factors in our problem?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. That's right. So the answer of two factors multiplied together is called a product. What are the numbers that we multiply together called?
Factors.
Right. And so, what is the answer called when we multiply two factors together?
Product.
Products, right. So, y'all are actually getting the hang of this really fast. So, remember how I told you multiplication is just like addition? To get our product, we just add up how many factors we have. So, let's count up how many beads we have in each of our eggs. So, okay. So, these are our eggs for this problem. Okay. So, how many Easter eggs do we have right here, right now?
4.
4. So, would that be our known number or our quantity?
Our known number.
No, our known number.
Oh.
Because how many do you see right here, right now?
4.
4. So when you look at it, automatically you see 4. So you know that. Because when you shake them, do you know how many beads are in the egg?
No.
No. So we don't know that yet. But right now, when we look at it, it's 4. So that'll go in our note blank. Okay. And we're going to count out how many beads we have in each of our eggs. Okay. So y'all can count with me. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
12.
12. Okay, so so how many beads were in each egg?
3.
3. And so that was an unknown number, right?
Yes.
So that would go in which blank? The quantity, right? And so when we put all of our beads out on the table and we count them up, how many do we get?
12.
12. That's right. So that is called our what?
Product.
Our product. Exactly. So if I was to ask you what is the product of 4 times 3, what would you tell me?
12.
Right, exactly. So I know this can be a little confusing at first, but don't worry, we're going to break it down. Just put these up real quick. So I have 2 Easter eggs with me at our example table. So just from looking at the Easter eggs, how many do we have?
2.
2. So if we're writing this down, where would we write this in our equation?
The first one.
The very first one. Okay. So like I said, can you hear? Do you know how many's in here when you just shake it? No, so it's unknown. So we'll open up our eggs and we'll count together again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many beads were in each egg?
4.
4. And how many beads total did we have?
8.
And what is that called again?
Product.
Product. Awesome. Y'all totally got this. Okay, so each egg has beads in it. So if we're going to multiply this, we'd write it out as 2 times 4. Does anybody know why?
Push it.
No.
2 eggs.
Yeah.
And then each egg had 4
4
beads inside it.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right, Jen. Good job. in the same way that we would add up our beads together using addition, we multiply the eggs times the number of beads, and we get the same answer. So let's go on to the next one. So let's say that we have 5 eggs. Okay, so we have 5 eggs. And so, well, I guess I just gave you all the answer. How many eggs do we have?
5.
5. Okay, and I want one of the other. Okay. We have 5 eggs. So can someone come? Oh, let's count them out real quick. Okay, so just how many beans or beads does each of these have?
3.
3 in one. 4. 3 in the second one. 3 in the third one. Oh. How many in the fourth one?
3.
Yeah. 3. Last but not least. 3. Oh, Jan, jumping ahead, but yep, we got 3 beads in each one. So can somebody write on the board how we would write this?
Try.
No.
Oh, she's right.
3.
No.
5.
Yeah.
5
3 times
times
3. Okay. So, I know a lot of y'all will be wondering, well, I mean, but she wrote 3 times 5. That's different. You said that we put how many we know first. Well, you can, multiplication is just like addition. So does it matter what number we add up first?
No.
No, it doesn't. Same with multiplication. It doesn't matter which number we multiply first. So we can write it 3 times 5, or we can write it 5 times 3. You'll get the same answer. Because, so, I'll show you. Let's count them out. Let's count out our beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. So, if we only had 3 eggs, but each egg had 5 beads, let's count them out. Let's see if this is different or the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it didn't matter how many eggs we had or how many beans we had, as long it was still 3 and 5. Okay. So what is our final product of 3 times 5 or 5 times 3?
15.
15. There you go.
Crazy 5.
It happens. Okay. So, how many eggs do we have right now?
4.
4. Okay. So, where would we put that on our board?
Wait.
Okay, so let's count out how many beads we have in our eggs. So, 1, This one doesn't have any.
okay.
Oh no.
I got cheated.
Okay. So, how would you think that you would write this out?
4 times 10. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry. I had to read my paper?
4 times
4 times 3.
4 times. How many? Okay, so
3.
4 times 3.
7. 1. 0.
Okay. So this would usually follow the pattern that we've been working on. But what is so special about all the other eggs?
They have.
How many beads have they had in each of the eggs? What's been the same about them?
They all have the same number of beads.
Right. So all the eggs have had the same number. Well, these eggs, they don't. So, so if you remember back to the very first of the lesson, what is multiplication like?
And just add.
No, you're right. Keep going.
Adding a bunch of things together.
Right, it's adding a bunch of things together. So, are any of these numbers the same?
No.
Exactly. So when you get older, you'll learn how to multiply all these numbers together. But before you know how to do that, you have to learn how to multiply simple stuff first. Okay, so we're on to the last example. I know y'all got this down, but I just want to make sure before we move on to our worksheet. So, let's count as a class how many eggs we have out here.
1,
2, 3,
4,
4, 5, 6,
6,
7, 8.
So, and let's count out our beads in the first, in our eggs, so that we know, because we don't want to be tricked again, like we were in the last example.
1, 2.
Let's just count and see how many beads they have. So 1, 2 in that one. 1, 2. 1, 2.
1, 2. 1, 2.
1, 2.
1,
2. 1, 2. Okay, so they all have 2, right? We didn't get tricked. So, okay. So what is our known factor?
2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. 8 is our known factor, because that's how many eggs we have. But like I said earlier, it wouldn't matter if we said 8 or 2 first, as long as it got said. And so then what is our last factor?
2.
2. Right. So we would say this 8 times 2. So how would we find the product of these two factors?
We have to count all the beads.
Yes. We count them all. We count all of the beads together. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So what is our final product of 8 times 2?
16.
Great! So, now, so if I wrote on the board 2 times 8, would our product change?
No.
No, because it doesn't matter what order we put it in, because multiplication is the same as addition. So now we're going to do an activity sheet so that y'all can all get a little bit more practice. Okay, hey, can I see your paper? Okay, so you're doing pretty good on all of it, except this one. So, okay, so what is your known, what's your known factor?
5.
Right, so you got that part right. And then what's your unknown factor?
3.
Right, okay, so here's your problem. You have 16 written down. So let's count it up. What's 5 plus 5?
10.
10. And then what's plus 5? 5 more.
15.
Right. So I think you might have just started counting a little fast or something. But good job. Everything else looks great. Okay. Oh. Almost done? Okay, can I see your paper? Okay, so I see that you haven't done the bonus problem yet. So, we're gonna work through it real quick. Okay, so what is your known number?
4.
Right, so you know that you're gonna be adding up 4s, right?
Mhm.
And how many times would we add up 4?
5.
5 times, right. So, what's 4? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4?
20.
Right. And so what's 4 times 5?
20.
And so it's the same, right? Awesome. So, okay. So let's review real quickly. What did we learn about today?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, that's right. So can anyone tell me what multiplication is?
It's known as sum.
It's adding a bunch of things together.
Right, it's adding the same number together over and over again multiple times, where we get the word multiplication. So, what are the 2 numbers that we multiply together called?
Factors.
Right. And so what do we call the answer of 2 factors multiplied together?
The product.
The product. Right. So y'all got a good handle on this multiplication business. Okay, so let's just hypothetically speak here. If I had a basket with 3 balls in it, and I had another basket with 4 balls in it, can I multiply them together to find out how many balls I had?
No,
Right. Why not?
because you don't have all the same number of balls in each basket.
Exactly. So, just like with our example earlier on, we couldn't multiply all those different numbers together because it wouldn't give us the right answer because they're not the same. Okay, so let's bring it into the real world real quick. So let's say I'm going to a party, okay, and I want to bring drinks. And so I know that each pack of drinks has 6 Cokes in it. And so I buy a Coca-Cola pack, a Sprite pack, and a Dr. Pepper pack. So how many packs did I buy altogether?
3.
3, right. But also, how many Cokes are in each pack?
6.
6. So, how would I write this equation? I'm going to have one of y'all write it.
Okay.
So 3.
Because, okay, so how many Cokes do we have in each pack?
6.
6, okay. And then how many different kinds of Coke did we buy?
3.
3, right. So, okay, so if we added it up, what's 6 plus 6?
12.
12, okay. And then what's 12 plus 6? 18. So we added up 6 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like saying 6 times 3. So what is the product of 6 times 3?
18.
18, right. Awesome. Okay, so what is 3 times 4?
12.
12, right. So I have 12 beads on the table, okay? And I want to take 3 of these beads away, and I want to put them in this egg. Then I want to take 3 more beads away, and I want to put them in this egg. What? No, it fell apart. Don't worry, I got it close for you. And then I'm going to take 3 more beads away and put them in this egg. And then finally, I'm going to take the last 3 beads and put them in this egg. So, how many eggs have 3 beads in them?
4.
Right. And so it's 3 times 4.
12.
12. So, we understand how multiplication works. So this is kind of like how division works. We take stuff away. So if I emptied out all of my eggs, I would have 12 beads. And so I know that I've got a good handle on multiplication today. So tomorrow we'll talk about division. We'll talk more about it. But I know it's been a long lesson, but y'all did great. And so thank y'all for paying attention. And I think we're about to head to lunch pretty soon. So thanks, y'all.
Vision. I didn't even know that multiplication.